Hey everybody, it's Cam. Welcome back to the channel. So trying something different with this video. It's no webcam, so just going to be looking at charts here. So for today, kind of an indecisive day for the main indices. You know, the S&P, the Nasdaq, Dow, Russell all down slightly. Basically treaded water all day around yesterday's highs. But we did get some, some runners today. So big mover today was this RMO, Romeo Power Inc. They signed a deal with PACCAR to supply their trucks with batteries, so that lifted, the battery sector. So you have Chargepoint, Blink, which is two other charts we'll look at. You had XL Fleet up on the news as well. Most EV plays were, slightly green, somewhat sideways, and then Plug, Power, and Key West were basically sideways as well. So we'll start with RMO. So news came out first thing this morning. And when you zoom out to the daily, you see this 100 fib. Basically, the low was yesterday, right at 771. So news comes out 4 a.m. We rip higher, immediately test at 78.6 fib, which we'll see out on the daily. And then we get the kind of selling action into the open, pulled back, and then we basically get this doji indecision candle, closed right at the 50 EMA for the 5-minute chart, inside candle, and then we rip higher. So one thing I like to look at market open is to have the exact same charts up side by side, one showing pre-market action, one not, and then using those EMAs as a reference point. So this is just an example of the charts that I use in the morning. So the charts on the left have pre-market action, and then the chart on the right is the same thing but no pre-market action. So you see the difference in the EMAs here. So like this is 3-minute chart pre-market, 3-minute chart no pre-market. And you basically see you have this hammer candle, and then a indecision inside candle right at basically on top of this 9 EMA with no pre-market trading. But here you see it below, but you do have this hammer basically coming off this rising 200 EMA on the bottom. And also you can see similar picture here with 5 minutes, right? So the chart on the left is what the main chart before exactly was, right on that 50 EMA. Here on the left, no pre-market trading. You see the wick came down, touched right off that 200 inside candle, go up. So it can add some more confirmation to plays that you're looking at, but also can increase the amount of noise you have. So if that's something you like, having more information, it could be a potential tool to use. But so RMA was it put in that inside candle, basically got the rip all the way up to the 61.8 fib, and we really kind of just use these fib levels as target all day. So you see here, just zoom out, see the entire day. Pulled back once right at lunchtime into the 22 on the 5 EMA. If we go to the 15, you'll see it pulls right back to the 9, and then we basically rip holding the 9 all afternoon until we set a high basically at 12:30, and then profit taking occurs into the close. And as you see, somewhat rolling over here now into the after hours. Let's go to the 15-minute chart so you can just see what I'm talking about, where it basically came back, touched right off the 15-minute 9 EMA, pushed higher, and you see we are kind of bouncing off it right here now after hours as this wick is moving currently. But also just to look at the volume here in the last little bit, you see right now we are sitting at what Thinkorswim is calculating as a point of control, so an area of interest over the 15-day period here for a 15-minute time frame going forward. So if you go out to the daily, just so you can see the fib levels, so we have been beaten down over basically the last 4 months, all the way to lows, and you see basically the move today pushed right back up to the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA. Sellers came in and pushed us down into that close. If you zoom out and look at the volume here, you basically see we are sitting in an area of a lot of volume here where we closed at in the mid 12s after hours. We're poking down. We might retest this 38.2 fib at $12 after hours and into pre-market trading for tomorrow. But like I said, so Romeo had a big day, up 60%, but also lifted other charging companies. So main one, Chargepoint, which has been a watch for me the last couple of days. So yesterday had a pretty big sell-off, as you can see here on volume. So big red candle, a little bit decrease in volume yesterday, but mainly all selling volume. And then today basically moved up with that sympathy play to Romeo, moved back through the 50 fib and recrossed that 50 EMA, looking to go higher. As you see here, we are kind of sitting in a volume shelf here in the low 30s. You do have the low volume area basically where we touched today, but just couldn't get enough buying support to push this higher up through, right? So we retest the high from yesterday, right? Yesterday's high 32.48, today 32.47. So sellers were sitting right there, really knocking this thing down, and just couldn't get over yesterday's high to move higher. Go to the 5-minute chart. You see kind of a move in sympathy to Romeo. So pre-market, profit taking sell-off, dip spot, gets us recross on the EMAs, and then we hold the 50 here on hour and a half into the open, ride the 9 EMA up, right? So where Romeo was setting a pullback at lunchtime hours, Chargepoint basically set that high, and then we pulled back and consolidated into the close, closing at 31.09, so up 10.5%. And you see here this 50 EMA on the 5-minute, which held at the 10:30, held at 12:05 and into the close, and then also did here after hours. So look to see if Chargepoint will stay up. Going into tomorrow, we can go to Blink. So Blink, pretty similar chart to Chargepoint as you'd expect. Quite a bit less volume though on Blink, relatively, liquidity-wise to Chargepoint. But closed up 6% on the day at 42.94. You see here we are somewhat rolling over after hours right now. If we zoom out, just look at the volume here. See, we basically closed at the point of control. Looks like we could find a volume base here down 42.30, 42.40 level here after hours. If we keep selling off, we're basically at that edge of that trading range on that Keltner channel. If we look at the daily here for Blink, you see basically we got the sell-off yesterday, just like Chargepoint. Gap down somewhat this morning, and the increased sell-off in the morning, but that pushed us right back into EMAs, and basically an area of higher volume here. Buyers came in on that volume, pushed us back up, and now we're back into this higher volume area, in the $42 to $44 range. A lot of volume sitting above $45, $46. So we'll see if increased volume with the sympathy plays will push Blink higher for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the rest of the week. And then we'll now look at XL. So XL Fleet has been beaten down. Pretty similar chart looking like Romeo Power. So you see we had that new low today, 722, basically after the open. So if you draw the fib here to 35, right, you can basically see we're not anywhere close to touching the 78.6. Right, so we got a considerable move back up to get within range. But one thing you like to see is we did have a large increase in volume today, right? So we had the earnings last on Wednesday the 31st, gap down off that earnings, and here basically formed a double bottom on the last 2 days in the 720, 725, 722 today, and we pushed back up within striking distance of that 9 EMA. And also here, to zoom out on volume for the daily, we did poke back into this higher volume area in the $8, closing at 836, up 11.62 today. If we go to the 5-minute chart, right, some more continued strength here. Somewhat, a longer 30-minute pullback here in the morning, crossover, get the 9 crossing over the 200 here. And we ride up higher, one retest of the 50 at 10:30. Push to new highs in an hour there. Pretty solid move from 7.9 to 8.7, basically 10% move in the hour. And then we get some profit taking, consolidation into the close, and moving sideways now after hours. We'll look to see if XL Fleet can get some upward momentum going into the rest of the week. And then, like I said, the bigger names in EVs, right? Tesla basically closed sideways, a little bit tighter range of 696 to 681 today, so probably had lesser volume. And then your Chinese names, NIO, XPEV, Li, all within normal bounds, right? NIO up 1.5%, XPEV a little bit better, 3%, Li up 2%, so pretty sideways day overall for the EV markets as they just followed the main indices. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. Let me know if you got anything out of it in the comments. Where do you think these charging points are going? I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more information on the infrastructure plan on their charging station, and basically fleet swap out for electric vehicles going forward. So we could have some catalysts in the future to further increase this momentum potentially. So that's what I got for you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Appreciate you guys taking time to watch the video, and we'll see you in the next one.